The thousands of protesters took to the streets in Togo's capital, Lomé, against President Faure Gnassingbé and his government. The protest came a day after mediators from Ghana and Guinea said that Togo will enter talks on controversial constitution reform on February the 15th in a move aimed at ending a crippling political stalemate. A rolling series of demonstrations against President Gnassingbé have been unfolding for several months, and the country has been rocked by striking teachers and health workers. Let's now bring in the publisher, Inside Watch Africa, of course an African affairs analyst as well, Oluwaseyi Adeyemo, to talk to us more about this. Thank you very much indeed for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being here.
Well, opposition figures in Togo have described Togo as in their own words, an acceptable political anomaly. In what sense does this description fit the situation we have in Togo today?
You have a 58-year-old or 58-year-old country, and a particular family have ruled them for 50 years. Now, the truth of the matter is, so what have they done? Because when you rule or govern or run a business for that long, it is expected that you're able to bring appropriate dividends on the table. Now, I say this all the time, what is the essence of governance? Governance essentially is to manage the lives of the people, to ensure that you're able to raise the standard of living. Now, if as a family you've done that for more than 50 years and you're unable to bring the right dividends on the table, why are you insisting? Why are you willing to change the constitution of the country so that you will continually remain perpetually in office? To what essence is that? That's the question. So, of course, those who have described the governance there as an anomaly are right, because the reason why we voted you in office, we're not benefiting. Togo is arguably one of the poorest nations in the world.
Indeed. Well, there's been a rolling series of continuous protests, you know, against the government, the Gnassingbé government in Togo. Clearly, the people are tired of him. This has been going on a weekly basis almost from August.
From August last
year. So,
yes.
Are we seeing the end of a regime sooner rather than later?
I guess this is a very good development in my opinion, and I think Africans must do this more, because in my own opinion, governance or government is actually participatory. In other words, the government will do their role and the people will also do their role. So this is a good development that Africans have realized that they need to talk louder, they need to continually refuse and bring to the table and be consistent in the things they say. So the fact that they're coming up every week to say to government, we do not want you again, is a good development in Africa, and I think it's something that will go on. I am certain that if this goes on, eventually we will have proper people coming into governance in Africa.
Well, you use the word, you know, consistently. The people need to be consistent in their demand, you know, for good governance and all of that in the movement to ensure that they have what they want. Now, we are hearing that the government will get into negotiations, into dialogue with the opposition.
Absolutely.
Do you think that the opposition at this time will, you know, perhaps give some ground or remain consistent in saying, look, Gnassingbé, you have to resign?
Now, the truth of the matter is, if we go back to history, we've always had situations where when people are brought in to be part of eating of the cake, they will normally let down their guards. But what I have continually said, and I've repeatedly said all over the place, is the fact that we now have a new media, we now have a new voice. The younger people are getting involved. They've realized that they cannot continually stay on the sideline. They are also getting more involved, and so we can hear their voice more. And that is why going forward in Africa, you're going to see a lot of youth participation in all of the things that will happen. So if you have the leaders on your side, or the elder or the older people on your side, you're going to have a situation that you have to deal with the young people. The truth of the matter is, the spring that happened, you know, the Arab Spring was actually, you know, championed by the youth. You're going to have that continually happening across Africa, because they have all realized that whatever is done in government affects our lives, all of our lives directly. So the era of all of us watching by the side is going gradually, and you're going to have a lot of paradigm shifts across Africa.
Well, besides elders, I think that bodies too should do their part. I mean, ECOWAS, for instance, failed to address that issue, and instead at the summit they were talking about Morocco.
I'll say to you that without sounding too harsh, the caliber of people who are occupying the leadership of ECOWAS right now still belongs to the old bloc. Now, what you will have, not just only in countries, is that in these bodies, AU and ECOWAS, you will have the right young, digital-minded young men coming into the run-ins and the reins, all of this. I can tell you, you know, I mean, clearly, that I have a lot of young people who are moving into working in all of these areas now. So in a few years, you will be shocked at the kind of change that will happen, because even in those organizations, you're having younger minds coming on, and the leadership and the way things will be done will be very different very soon. It's just unfortunate that we have had to wait for this long.
Right, publisher inside Watch Africa, and of course an African affairs analyst, Oluwaseyi Adeyemo. Well, thank you very much indeed for coming to share your thoughts as always.
Thanks so much.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
All right.